In this video, I'm going to show you guys how we can set up Wan 2.2 on Runpod so that we can use image to video for video generation or first frame, last frame generation. But I do want to be clear, I'm not going to be showing the actual workflow in this video. So if you want to see how to get Wan running like on a local computer or something else, I'll link that video in the description. This is just for the people who maybe saw that video but want to use it on Runpod because maybe you don't have a GPU on your computer or for whatever reason. So you're going to need a Runpod account, and I will link to Runpod so you can make that account in the description, and it is an affiliate link, full disclosure. But once you set up your account, and you are going to need to put some money on Runpod. With the affiliate link, I believe you should get $5 if you put $5 on, so that's a little bonus, you'll have $10. But once you do that, you're going to need to create a pod. So you can come right over here to pods, and you could just spin up a pod, but what I would highly recommend you do is come over to storage first and go to create network volume, and you're going to want to select one of these pods. I recommend a pod that has at least a 3090 available. A 4090 is also good. 6000 of course is great, but a bit of overkill. The smaller models like the 3090 are going to be a little cheaper, so that's the one I like to go with. And if you want, you could change the name of your pod. That's not necessary, I'm not going to do it right now, but I do recommend putting a few extra gigabytes. I think like 50 gigabytes should be more than enough. And you'll notice that says $350 a month. These storage systems are really easy to create and destroy, so don't worry about that too much. If you're just going to use it for a couple days, you're not going to need to pay for the whole month, only for the time that your storage is active. Then click create network volume, and it will automatically make the network volume. And you can come over to pods, and you're going to want to select the network volume you just created and select the GPU you want to use. I will be using RTX 3090. And then here in templates, change over to ComfyUI. And if you are on a newer GPU, you're going to want to use CUDA 13. I selected the 3090, so I will be using 12.8. And I'll be using on demand. So it's only 50 cents an hour to be generating all the videos I want, much cheaper than buying a GPU. And then we go to deploy on demand, and it's going to take a couple minutes and our pod should spin up. The first time you initialize the pod, it's going to take a little bit longer because it needs to set up ComfyUI and all of that stuff, but I'll come right back after it is done initializing our pods so that we can download all of the files we need for Wan 2.2. Now that it initialized and all of these are green, we're going to want to come over to Jupyter Lab, which will also take a couple seconds to load up. And let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. From here, we're going to want to come over to terminal. And this terminal is going to be pretty much the same as your terminal on Mac or command prompt on Windows, except of course it is a Linux system. And this terminal is going to be pretty similar to your terminal on Mac or command prompt on Windows, except of course it is a Linux system. So you can use both ls and dir, and both of those will show you what the files are. And we are going to want to use this terminal to download the files into our ComfyUI. So we're going to cd change directory to ComfyUI, and if we ls again, we can see our models file. So I'm going to cd models, and I should probably actually be using dir for this video because I think that's a little easier to read. And here we're going to want to switch to diffusion models. So remember, you can use tab complete. And if we come over here, we can see the Wan 2.2 files that we're going to need. So if you come over to the split files, you can see the diffusion models. And you're going to want to scroll down and grab the high noise FP8 version first. And make sure that you grab I to V, because that's what's going to work for the models in the workflow that I showed you. If of course you want to experiment with some of these other models, you are totally free to. They have a lot of other capabilities. But this model is very good. And you're going to want to come over to click on it, and then you are not going to want to click download because that will download it to your current computer, and you don't want to download it to your computer. You want to copy the download link so that you can install it over in Jupyter Labs. And we're going to use wget, and then in quotation marks we're going to paste in that link and then close our quotation marks and do -o, and you're going to need to, after this -o, you need to write the name of the file, or else it'll just put whatever file name it has on their server, and if you do that, it won't even detect it, because it needs to have that .safetensors on the end of it. So we're going to paste that, and it's going to take a couple minutes to download, so I'll let that happen. And now that is downloaded, so we can move on to the next one, which is going to be the low noise version. So we come back over here, files and versions, split files again, diffusion models, and same thing, except we grab i2v low noise fp8, copy download link, wget, and I forgot to put the quotation marks. Quotation marks are important on this one. It will often not work if you forget them. Quotation marks, paste, close quotation marks, -o, then we copy this, and enter, and I will come back when this is finished downloading. So the second diffusion model finished downloading, and we can see them with ls. Both of the files are right here inside of our diffusion models folder. And now we can download the two LoRAs that we're going to need. So change directory back. And if I use dir, we can see our LoRAs folder right here. So we're going to cd LoRAs. And here we're going to come back to split files, LoRAs. And we are going to want to download the 4-steps LoRa, and you can use either the V1 or V1.1. I'm going to be going with V1.1 just because it is a little bit newer. The only thing I would suggest is if you are using one of them to use both the same, even though it shouldn't break it, even if you use different ones. But in general, it's better to stay the same on both. So we'll start with high noise once again, copy download link, back to Jupyter Labs, wget, and we're going to repeat the same process. So I will do both of these LoRAs really fast because it's pretty much going to be exactly what we did before, and then I will show you guys where we put the VAE and text encoder, and we'll be ready to do the other video. Make sure again that you remember quotation marks. I keep forgetting it because I am talking as I am writing these commands. Now we grab the low noise LoRa, and let's ls to double check that we have all the files we need, and we do. So let's go back to the models and ls again, and we can see our VAE there at the end. So we're going to change directory to VAE, and this one is particularly important. So I'm going to come over here, and we're going to come back to split files again and click on VAE, and you're going to notice there's two VAEs. There's 2.2 and 2.1. And you would be very logical to assume we would be grabbing the 2.2, but do not grab that one. It's not going to work for this workflow. Even though we're using Wan 2.2, you're going to want to use the Wan 2.1 VAE safe tensors. So click right there on Wan 2.1. So it's going to say 2.2. And then over here, 2.1 VAE safe tensors. Copy the download link, and then same process once again. Just making sure that you're using 2.1. So this is the same exact one that you would be using if you're using Wan 2.1 in terms of your VAE. So you may even have it downloaded if you're doing this locally, even though if you're on Runpod, you're probably going to be grabbing all the files every time you do it anyway. Control C and paste the name. And then the only thing left after this is going to be the text encoder. The VAE downloads incredibly fast. And then we're going to CD back, and then we're going to change directories into text encoders. So CD text encoders, ls, put text encoder files here. We're going to go back to split files, text encoders, and you can grab either one of these. They're not that big. I'm going to grab the smaller FP8 version. We're going to copy that download link and come back over here, wget, quotation marks, paste -o, and then we're going to grab the name and download the final file we need. And I actually messed up right there because I added some quotation marks to the safe tensors. So the name will probably be wrong, but that's actually good. I can't say I did it on purpose, I probably should have, but I'll be able to show you guys now how we can rename the file if you happen to make a mistake when you are putting the name of the file. So I'll do that as soon as this finishes downloading. So it finished downloading, and let's ls so that we can see the name, and we can see the name is very wrong. It has a new line appended to it. So we're going to MV, which stands for move, and I'm going to do apostrophe UMT, and then we're just going to tab, And you'll notice it looks like it broke to a new line. That's just because of the new line feature. This is all one name. And then what we want to move it to is just UMT5XXL FP8E4M3FN scaled safe tensor. So just that name. And this time I am just going to type it out. Enter, and now if we ls, you can see we have the name right there. And of course move, we're moving it from one name to another. You can also use this to move a file from one folder to another if you put it in the wrong folder. Just make sure that you put the right file path. So you could use, say, .. and then the file name that you want it sent to. And now we have all of the files though. And before I end this video, I want to show you guys another way we can see these files, which actually a couple ways. Let me first show you inside of our Jupyter lab. We can open the files here, and then you can just come over to models and say if I wanted to check diffusion models, I can click on it. And there we go, I see the files. But maybe I don't want to do that. Then I would close this, and there's actually another way we can open the files, and that is with File Browser. So I'm going to open that. And this will have the default username of admin and the default password of admin 12, all lowercase. I don't know if there's an option to show it. I don't think I can show the thing, but it's admin 12. Then we log in, and now we'll be able to see the files. So we open Runpod Slim, and same thing, we can just navigate around through our files. We can see our models, open up diffusion models, and there we see the diffusion models that we have. And of course we can also see like the text encoder, and you can actually change the name or move files in here too. So that's an important piece. And you can even upload files. So say if you had these files on your computer, you could just upload them to Runpod. I highly recommend that you don't do that. It's going to be a lot faster downloading them from Hugging Face, unless you have like a professional grade internet connection in your house. With a standard home router, it's going to take a really long time. And in Runpod, of course, we are paying for time when we have these pods open. And I mean, it's not a lot, it's just like 50 cents an hour, but why keep them open longer than we need to? So I am going to close that out, and I am going to stop my pod. And this is important. If you did not use storage and you just spun up a pod, you're not going to want to just stop your pod here. You're going to want to do any generations that you plan to do. So you can watch the other video. It'll of course be linked in the description where I explain the workflows. But until you're done with all of that, you don't want to stop your pod. But since we do have storage, I can actually stop my pod right now, and it'll stop charging me for that. And then when I come back, I can just start up the pod, and I will be back to where I was, and we'll be able to generate. And if you are done with this altogether, you no longer even want the storage, you can come right over to this and delete your volume, and it will ask you to type in the name, which I am not going to do because I actually haven't filmed the other video where I'm going to be showing you guys how the workflows work just yet. So I am going to be using this pod to do that. But that's pretty much all you need to know to get Wan 2.2 working inside of ComfyUI, except of course actually running the workflows. So that'll be in the other video that is, as I have said, in the description. And I know this was kind of probably a bit of a boring video, but I did want to make it just in case if someone out there is watching the other video and has any questions. And if I did gloss over something or if something confused you, please let me know in the comments. And as always, have a great day, and I can't wait to see you guys around.